So Joe Rogan isn't an expert in MMA, says Ronda Rousey. Hey, what's up, guys? It's Ben. Today I'm coming at you with another video, and this time I'm going to be talking about Ronda Rousey's comments about Joe Rogan and his MMA expertise. Ronda Rousey, on a podcast with Bert Kreischer, said that Joe Rogan isn't an expert, he's a fan with an audience.
I was just talking to Joe on the walk over, and all it takes is a text going, how long for me to train to beat Ronda? That'll never happen.
He wouldn't know. He's not an expert. He's a fan with an audience.
That's interesting.
Right. So Bert Kreischer asked her what would get her back in MMA, how much money, and he keeps spitballing numbers, but she says $1 billion, right? And so then Bert at some point says, what if it's just fighting me, right? What if, and how he said he asked Joe Rogan how long he would have to train to beat Ronda, and then Ronda jumps in and says he's not an expert in reference to Joe Rogan. He's a fan with an audience. And Bert laughs his ass off. Rightfully so, but he laughs his ass off. And then Ronda gives him a face and kind of shrugs, and then he starts to realize that she's being serious. Her comment is just inane and not, it's not true. She says Taekwondo isn't fighting. It's a martial art. It's a contact. You're hitting people. I know there's pads and stuff, but still technically counts. I guess you could say it's not fighting, but all right. Anyways, so here's the thing. The thing that you have to understand about Joe Rogan is that, one, he's a 4-time Massachusetts state full contact Taekwondo champion, is what he said. And he won the U.S. Open Championship for Taekwondo when he was 19. And then he was also an amateur kickboxer. He was 2-1. That's that. And then also, he's a black belt in BJJ, a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and then he's a black belt in 10th Planet Jiu-Jitsu. He has been working with the UFC kind of on and off, but mostly on since 2001. So 2001 is when he was mostly on, and it really started to pick up. But before that, he was still working with the MMA and the UFC. And he's just been in the environment for so long. And he understands the game and how it works. He's an expert. Ronda Rousey's wrong. Ronda Rousey's striking was not that good. I don't know why she's so bitter at Joe Rogan. And that's the biggest thing about it, is that he was the biggest supporter of Ronda Rousey. The biggest fan, right? The first one to go, she's amazing, basically. And he was, I think, for the most part, he was right to some extent. And he recognized this later, and her issue is that she thought her striking was better than it was. Her striking wasn't that good, but then her coach started saying that her boxing striking was good. And then she started doing Fast and Furious movies, and she became really popular. And then I don't think she trained as well as she should have, and it cost her. And she lost twice and then quit. Anyways, that's going to be it for this video. Please like, comment what you thought I was talking about, and subscribe. I'll see y'all later.